Welcome back to the channel. My name's Ben, this is BD Performance. Right, now that we're kind of back in the flow of these videos, we thought we'd just explain to you briefly why we've been missing in action for so long. And this is it. It's our new two-wheel drive hub dyno. We've spent loads of times trying to kind of get it set up and working properly before we actually took on work. We had loads of issues with it initially, but we've got to the bottom of it now. It's all good, so we're going to do a video, and it's on a MK3 RS, which is going from stock to full stage 2, so it should be a good one. Right, that's the car loaded onto the dyno. Now obviously our dyno's a two-wheel drive setup, as are most to be fair, but the MK3 RS is four-wheel drive, so there's a few things we need to do so that we can run it safely in two-wheel drive. So we've got fuse number 17 in the engine bay here, which is a 30 amp fuse. It's pink, and that's for the RDU fuse. So we're going to disconnect that, and we're going to get into the car and we're going to engage dyno mode. Start by, we turn the ignition on first. We then fully apply the brake and clutch pedal right to the floor, and we take it into reverse 6 times. And on the 6th time, the ABS light will start flashing and we start the engine. So we've got flashing ABS and we've got traction control disabled. That'll allow us now to safely run the car in two-wheel drive. Right, so we've done 3 runs on the dyno with the MK3 RS. We're showing wheel horsepower here, not a corrected engine, brake horsepower. So this is a realistic wheel horsepower figure, and we're getting between 266 and 272 horsepower at the wheels, and between 306 and 314 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels. Now, it's fairly well documented that the MK3 RS never makes power on the dyno anyway, but it's kind of not really what we're looking for today. The purpose of this is for us to show you a before and after and what gains we've actually had from all the hardware and the software that we're going to apply to the car. And here, this actually shows you what a realistic graph looks like before it's corrected. Now, if you go to a dyno day or whatever, generally, like tuners and dyno places, give you a smoothed out curve on your printout just so it looks pretty, but there's a realistic curve. You can see here just where the brake's starting to apply and where it's maybe slightly struggling to keep up with the initial kind of input of torque. But yeah, there you go. So we're going to get the car on the ramp now, do all the hardware, and we'll come back to the dyno later when it's been tuned. Right, move on to the good stuff. We've got the hardware that we're going to put on. We're going to start with the 𝘠𝘠𝘠 Airtech front mount intercooler along with their big boost pipe kit. We've got the Revo carbon series induction kit, which is awesome, and we've got a Scorpion sports cat downpipe, and that's all going to be topped off with a Revo stage 2 software. Now I'm going to start with the intercooler. In this case, the car's just come off the dyno, so the exhaust is really hot, so I'm going to give that a bit of time to cool down so that I don't burn my hands. So we'll get on with taking the front bumper off. Quickly, for anyone who's spotted that this has got some silicone and a panel filter, I don't think we're gonna, I know we've referred to the car as stock, but that literally is just a drop-in panel filter and a pair of silicone hoses, so we're definitely not going to call that tuned. So I've got the intercooler and the boost pipe kit all stripped off. I've decided that I think now the car's had a bit of chance to cool down, I'm going to do the downpipe while the boost pipes and everything are off. It just gives me a bit more room to get to the bracket and everything for the downpipe. So I've done the top end, I'm going to lift it up, I'm going to pull that in now, and I'll get that done and we'll move back on to the intercooler and the boost pipe kit. Right, that's the sports cap being fitted, the boost pipe's fitted. I'm going to grab this massive intercooler now and throw that on. Right, so last bit of the hardware to go on now. We've got the lovely Revo carbon crossover fitted. This the foam filter actually replaces the existing filter and goes into the original airbox. See, this one's already got a K&N filter in it, but I'm going to swap that out for this nice Revo one. And yeah, get the front end on it and we'll be good to go. Actually, the last bit of the hardware is the sound suppression chamber. Now, I forgot to mention it earlier, or I kind of put it to the back of my mind intentionally, one or the other, but we're not going to film this for two reasons. First reason is we'll never get the camera in there, and the second reason is there's going to be a lot of swearing, so we'll see in a minute. Right, so the job's all done on the car, all the hardware's on, the Revo's been uploaded, so we've got the car back on the dyno. We're going to do a few power runs so we can find out exactly what gains we made. Right, so that's all the dyno runs on the MK3 RS finished. After doing all the hardware on the Stage 2 Revo software, we are seeing 361.46 wheel horsepower, which is around about 90 horsepower gain. And we're seeing 410 foot-pounds of torque at the wheels, which is around about 100 foot-pounds gain at the wheels. So all in all, you've got to say that's a pretty successful tune. So we'll call that the end of the video. So if you're loving the stuff we've been doing lately, give us a nice thumbs up. As usual, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do so. Hit that bell icon to stay notified, and we'll see you in the next video.